Welcome to the dark side of the digital world. A hidden world most people don't even know exists. A world of cybercrime. This is a world of sophisticated scams, data breaches, and digital heists. It's a world where anonymity reigns and criminals operate with impunity, stealing billions of dollars every year. In this documentary, we'll journey into the dark world of cybercrime. We'll expose the methods, the motives, and the minds behind these digital attacks. We'll meet the victims and talk to the experts fighting to stay one step ahead in this constantly evolving digital battlefield. The internet has revolutionized the way we live, work, and communicate. But this digital revolution has a dark side. As we embrace the convenience of online banking, social media, and e-commerce, we also become vulnerable to a new breed of criminal. Cybercrime affects everyone from individuals to multinational corporations, governments to global financial institutions. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry that's growing at an alarming rate. Imagine your identity stolen, your life savings wiped out, your personal photos and data held for ransom. This is the reality for millions of people around the world. Who are these cybercriminals? What drives them? Are they masterminds driven by greed, or are they social misfits seeking revenge on a world that has wronged them? The truth is, cybercriminals are a diverse group with complex motivations. Some are driven by financial gain, seeking to make a quick profit from unsuspecting victims. Others are motivated by ideology, using their technical skills to disrupt or expose organizations they deem corrupt or unjust. Many hackers are driven by the thrill of the challenge. By delving into their motivations, we can anticipate their moves, strengthen our defenses, and create a safer digital world. The world of cybercrime is filled with shadowy figures who operate in the digital underground. Their true identity is often shrouded in mystery. One such figure is Kevin Mitnick, once dubbed the world's most wanted hacker by the US Department of Justice. Mitnick's exploits captivated the public imagination, turning him into a cult hero for some and a dangerous criminal for others. His story exposed the vulnerabilities of early internet infrastructure and the cat-and-mouse game between hackers and law enforcement. Then there's Albert Gonzalez, a mastermind of credit card fraud who orchestrated one of the largest data breaches in history. From lone wolves like Gary McKinnon to organized groups like Anonymous, the profiles of these notorious hackers paint a complex picture of the motivations and ideologies that fuel cybercrime. Few names inspire as much intrigue and speculation as the shadow brokers. As we look back into cybercrime's history, this enigmatic group burst onto the scene in 2016, releasing a trove of hacking tools allegedly stolen from the National Security Agency. The tools, some of which were zero-day exploits, had the potential to compromise millions of computers globally. The shadow brokers' actions blurred the lines between cybercrime and cyber-espionage, raising questions about their motives and allegiances. Their exploits highlight the double-edged sword of technology, creating a breeding ground for anonymity and illicit activities. Beyond individual actors, the world of cybercrime has witnessed the rise of collectives and movements united by shared ideologies, political agendas, or the simple pursuit of notoriety and chaos. Perhaps the most well-known of these groups is Anonymous, a decentralized international collective of hackers and activists known for their distinctive Guy Fawkes masks. Anonymous has been linked to a wide range of operations targeting governments, corporations and individuals, often in the name of free speech, anti-censorship and social justice. While some view Anonymous as digital Robin Hoods, others criticize their tactics as reckless and counterproductive. Their existence highlights the evolving landscape of cyber threats, where the lines between individual actors and collective movements continue to blur. What makes a hacker tick? What drives them to relentlessly probe systems, exploit vulnerabilities, and breach digital fortresses? It's a question that has puzzled law enforcement, cybersecurity experts, and psychologists alike. While the stereotype of the lone wolf hacker might hold true in some cases, the reality is far more nuanced. Many hackers are highly intelligent, curious individuals with a deep understanding of technology and a fascination with how things work. This drive to explore and manipulate systems can lead some down a path of ethical hacking, while for others, it leads to a darker path. Understanding the hacker mindset requires looking beyond the stereotypes and recognizing the complex interplay of factors that can contribute to their actions. The thrill of the exploit goes beyond just money. For many hackers, it's about the challenge, the satisfaction of outsmarting sophisticated security systems, and the intoxicating feeling of power that comes with infiltrating seemingly impenetrable digital fortresses. The digital world becomes a playground where they can test their skills, push their limits, and experience a sense of mastery rarely found in the physical world. This sense of power and control can be highly addictive, driving hackers to seek out ever more challenging targets and riskier exploits. It's important to remember that this sense of power is often rooted in a desire for recognition, albeit a distorted one. The path to cybercrime is rarely a sudden leap, but often a gradual descent down a slippery slope. Young people, in particular, are drawn to the digital world's endless possibilities, its challenges, and its potential for creativity and self-expression. This natural curiosity, coupled with the easy availability of hacking tools and information online, can lead to experimentation. What starts as harmless pranks can quickly escalate as individuals become more skilled and confident in their abilities. It's crucial to recognize the early warning signs and provide young people with the guidance, support, and ethical framework they need to navigate the digital world responsibly. The age-old debate of nature versus nurture takes on new dimensions when examining the factors that contribute to cybercrime. Environmental factors play a significant role in shaping an individual's trajectory. A lack of positive role models, exposure to criminal elements, social isolation, or a sense of alienation can create a breeding ground for deviant behavior. The digital age has created a unique set of challenges for parents, educators, and policymakers. Combating cybercrime requires a multifaceted approach that addresses both individual and societal factors. Social media platforms have become our digital town squares, our virtual cafes, our global news feeds, but for cyber criminals, they're fertile hunting grounds, teeming with potential victims ripe for exploitation. These platforms, built on connection and sharing, inadvertently provide scammers with the tools they need to deceive, manipulate, and profit from unsuspecting users. Facebook, with its billions of users and vast trove of personal data, offers a treasure trove for identity thieves and phishing scammers. These platforms are constantly playing catch-up, battling an ever-evolving threat landscape where ingenuity and ruthlessness go hand in hand. The desire for love and companionship is universal, a fundamental human need that transcends age, culture, and geography. Cybercriminals exploit this vulnerability, using the anonymity of the internet to weave elaborate webs of deception. Romance scams often begin innocently enough on dating apps and social media platforms. Scammers create fake profiles using stolen photos and carefully crafted personas to lure potential victims into online relationships. Once trust is established, the requests for money begin, leading to devastating consequences that go far beyond financial ruin. Imagine this. You're browsing the web, checking your email or working on an important document when suddenly your computer screen freezes. A menacing message pops up, warning of a critical error, a virus infection, or even suspicious activity on your bank account. Panic sets in, your heart races, you need to fix this, and you need to fix it now. Cybercriminals exploit our fear and lack of technical expertise to gain access to our systems and steal our information. Tech support scams trigger an immediate visceral reaction, bypassing rational thought and prompting victims to act impulsively. The error message urges you to call a toll-free number for immediate assistance. Answering that call connects you directly with the scammers, who guide you through steps to give them remote access. Once they have control, they can install malware, steal your passwords, or hold your data hostage for ransom. The damage can be devastating, both financially and emotionally. The graying of cybercrime victims is a concerning trend. As technology becomes increasingly intertwined with our lives, the digital divide widens, leaving certain demographics more vulnerable to cybercrime than others. Older adults, often less familiar with the online world and more trusting of authority figures, are increasingly becoming targets of scams. Cybercriminals prey on their lack of technical expertise and their respect for authority. They often pose as representatives from trusted organizations to gain trust and extract sensitive information. Grandparent scams target seniors' emotional vulnerabilities. Scammers, posing as grandchildren in distress, contact their targets by phone. They plead for immediate financial assistance, urging their victims not to tell anyone else. The emotional pressure is immense, and many seniors fall victim, wiring thousands of dollars to their supposed loved ones. The financial and emotional toll of these scams can be devastating, leaving seniors feeling betrayed and vulnerable. Digital shadows, the elusive nature of cybercrime. The digital world presents a formidable challenge for law enforcement agencies. The Internet's decentralized structure and global reach provide fertile ground for criminals to operate with stealth and sophistication. Cybercrime can be committed from anywhere, leaving behind digital breadcrumbs that are difficult to follow. Cybercriminals mask their identities and locations, making it challenging for authorities to track them down. Criminals leverage advanced tools and encryption, staying ahead of security measures. This cat-and-mouse game highlights the need for increased resources and international collaboration. As technology advances, the challenges of investigating cybercrime will become more complex. The borderless crime. Jurisdictional challenges in cyberspace. The Internet knows no borders. It's a global network that transcends geographical boundaries. This interconnectedness poses significant challenges for law enforcement agencies. Determining jurisdiction and applicable laws can be a logistical nightmare. A hacker can target victims in another country, routing attacks through multiple locations. This creates a tangled web of jurisdictions. Jurisdictional ambiguity allows cybercriminals to exploit legal loopholes. It complicates international law enforcement collaboration. Addressing these challenges requires international cooperation, developing standardized legal frameworks, strengthening cooperation and information sharing, and creating a global task force. Until then, the Internet will continue to provide a safe haven for cybercriminals. Encryption is a cornerstone of cybersecurity, protecting our online communications and personal data from unauthorized access. However, it can hinder law enforcement's ability to investigate and prosecute cybercrime. Strong encryption makes it difficult for law enforcement to access data, even with a warrant. This poses challenges for gathering evidence and tracking suspects. The debate pits privacy against the need for security and law enforcement access. Privacy advocates argue that weakening encryption creates vulnerabilities. Law enforcement argues that strong encryption provides a safe haven for criminals. Balancing these interests is a complex challenge. It requires informed discussion among policymakers, technology experts, privacy advocates, and law enforcement. This balancing act will continue to define the digital age. The numbers are staggering, billions stolen globally each year. Millions fall victim to cyber scams and identity theft. Behind these statistics lie real stories, real people. Sarah lost her life savings to a romance scam. Her story is a stark reminder of the toll these scams take. John, a retired teacher, lost thousands to a tech support scam. He called a fake tech support number. Scammers drained his bank account. These stories represent a growing epidemic. By sharing these stories, we reveal the real pain and suffering inflicted by cybercrime. I felt so foolish, so ashamed, confessed Maria, her voice trembling as she recounts her experience falling victim to a phishing scam. I received an email that looked exactly like it was from my bank, asking me to update my login information. I didn't even think twice about it. I clicked on the link and entered my details. Maria's story is a common one. Cybercriminals are masters of deception, exploiting our trust in familiar brands and our fear of missing important information. They craft convincing emails, text messages, and websites designed to trick us into revealing our personal and financial information. I lost everything, says David, his voice heavy with regret. My bank accounts were emptied, my credit cards maxed out. I had to file for bankruptcy. I never thought something like this could happen to me. David's experience underscores the devastating financial consequences of cybercrime. Victims often face a long and arduous road to recovery, grappling with debt, damaged credit scores, and the emotional toll of having their financial security shattered. The stories shared by victims like Maria and David serve as a powerful reminder that cybercrime can happen to anyone, regardless of age, education, or technical expertise. By sharing their experiences, they hope to raise awareness, encourage others to take precautions, and break the stigma associated with falling victim to these scams. It's a constant arms race, says cybersecurity expert Emily Carter, her eyes scanning lines of code on a computer screen. As soon as we develop new security measures, cybercriminals find new ways to circumvent them. It's a never-ending battle. Emily is on the front lines of the fight against cybercrime, working tirelessly to develop innovative solutions to protect individuals and organizations from the ever-evolving threat landscape. Her team of security analysts, ethical hackers, and forensic investigators work around the clock, monitoring networks for suspicious activity, analyzing malware, and tracing digital footprints to bring cybercriminals to justice. We need to stay one step ahead, says Mark Thompson, a veteran cybercrime investigator. That means understanding the latest hacking techniques, anticipating emerging threats, and constantly adapting our strategies to counter them. Mark emphasizes the importance of international collaboration, sharing information and intelligence with law enforcement agencies across the globe to disrupt cybercriminal networks and dismantle their operations. Cybercrime knows no borders, he states. We need to work together to combat this global threat. The fight against cybercrime requires a multifaceted approach, encompassing technological advancements, legislative action, and a collective effort from governments, businesses, and individuals to prioritize cybersecurity awareness and adopt safe online practices. In an increasingly interconnected world where our lives are intertwined with technology, knowledge is our most powerful defense against cybercrime. By understanding the tactics employed by cybercriminals, we can take proactive steps to protect ourselves, our loved ones, and our digital assets. The first line of defense is awareness, stresses Emily Carter. Educate yourself about the different types of scams, the warning signs to look out for, and the steps you can take to mitigate your risk. Simple measures such as creating strong, unique passwords for each of your online accounts, enabling two-factor authentication whenever possible, and being wary of suspicious emails, links, and attachments can significantly reduce your chances of falling victim to an attack. Keep your software up to date, advises Mark Thompson. Software updates often include security patches that address known vulnerabilities. Failing to update your devices leaves you vulnerable to attack. Cybersecurity is not a one-time task, but an ongoing process, a shared responsibility that requires vigilance, awareness, and a commitment to staying informed about the latest threats and best practices. By taking proactive steps to protect ourselves, we can create a safer and more secure digital world for everyone. As we've journeyed into the dark world of cybercrime, we've encountered the minds behind the attacks, the methods used to exploit our vulnerabilities, and the devastating impact on individuals, businesses, and global security. But amidst the unsettling reality of this digital battleground, a message of hope emerges. Knowledge is power. The most effective defense against cybercrime isn't always the most sophisticated technology or the most complex algorithm. It's often the simplest act of awareness, of questioning, of refusing to be rushed or pressured into compromising our security. The Human Firewall, built on education, vigilance, and a healthy dose of skepticism, stands as our strongest bulwark against the relentless tide of digital threats. Each click, each download, each online interaction presents an opportunity for caution or carelessness. By cultivating a culture of cyber awareness, we empower ourselves and those around us to navigate the digital world with confidence and resilience. We become active participants in our own online safety rather than passive targets. This documentary has provided a glimpse into the shadowy corners of the internet, exposing the tactics and motivations of cybercriminals. But more importantly, it has highlighted the crucial role we all play in building a safer, more secure digital future. The fight against cybercrime is not a battle fought solely by cybersecurity experts and law enforcement agencies. It's a collective responsibility that demands our active participation, our vigilance, and our unwavering commitment to staying informed. The landscape of cyber threats is constantly evolving, requiring us to remain agile, adaptable, and informed about the latest scams, vulnerabilities, and protective measures. We urge you to share this documentary with your friends, family, and colleagues. Help us spread awareness, ignite conversations, and empower others to become more cyber-savvy citizens. Together, we can create a ripple effect, fostering a culture of cybersecurity awareness that transcends borders and generations. Stay informed, be watchful, and stay one step ahead of the cyber criminals. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the dark world of cybercrime. If you found this documentary insightful, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more thought-provoking content. Brought to you by Verum magazine and Kayleen Peoples, the editor-in-chief, signing off.